Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out my broadcast today. My name is Jonathan. Today is day 37 of my 3-year challenge to take control of my health and wellness. I want to again thank you for checking out the broadcast. I'd love to hear how all of you guys that are watching this are doing on your diets. Uh, what kind of successes are you seeing? Hey, how's it going, KF? I so I started this challenge initially here. The biggest part for me is that I want to break my food addiction, and to do this. Hey, what's going on, Bolt? To do that, I felt like the best way was going to be to uh, fast here to start. And so I planned on doing a 30-day fast, and then I felt pretty good at the 30 days. And in the past, I've always kind of quit at the planned time. And so I decided to push it. And I'm going to push it up here to 1,000 hours, which is just shy of 42 days. So um, it's going to be, yeah, I think it's on December 12th. If I did my math right without double checking, but I could be wrong because I didn't double check the day. I just assumed it was another day and a half. So, um, but now that I have an idea for what I'm going to do, I am excited to get the fast over with. I feel like I'm on the last couple reps of doing a set of 10, and it's getting a little bit tougher, but not uh, in the way that everybody always assumes that you're going to be super hungry. Um, the Yeah, so the things about why I'm gonna end at 40 days because the I was looking at some other things and I can go over it after I go to weight too. But um, the couple things that are happening is that, and I've mentioned it previously, is that not that I don't have more energy, but I don't have the drive to go out and do like a big project or take on something new. And so I feel like that is as a result of the fasting. Um, and then the I I do think about food a lot, or I search out stuff about food a lot, and I feel like that if I was eating, I wouldn't quite be obsessing over food as much. Um, but uh, Bolt had a question here about the sickness and the diarrhea. With the fasting, I don't know how far into the fast you are. Um, how far into the fast that you're having those issues, but I know within the first week, I definitely have always had diarrhea from my body cleaning itself out. Sickness, I've never. I mean, maybe some a little bit of nausea, but I drink water; it passes. Um, yeah. So, um, with the electrolytes, I mean, I'm not the probably the best to give advice on what to do with electrolytes and things like that. I uh, I relied a lot on my body taking care of me this fast, and it's worked out pretty well. I did have heartburn, but it was only if I was like in a specific like position. Like I was one time I had heartburn. I was like laying on my side, and it might even been that my butt was higher than my. It was, yeah, but um, but I haven't had that. Um, and then you did 2 days fasting and then ate yesterday and back fasting today. Yeah, I mean, getting to a regiment, figuring out what's going to work best for you. is really, what a lot of this is about. If you're going to do the fasting or whatever diet you decide to do, you just got to keep plugging away and keep pushing on it. Some of my non-scale victories that I was going to talk about here. Uh, I mentioned the uh, I did a little bit more around the house. I didn't get in any new projects much, but we put some Christmas lights up, which we've kind of been putting off. Fixed some stuff. We have a gravel driveway that needs repairs, so we did that. Um, the other non-scale victory that I was going to talk about was we ended up going. My family rented out a whole movie theater, and like me, my parents, my brothers, and our kids, we went and saw Christmas Vacation at the movie theaters. It was a real fun experience, and if you have the opportunity to do something like that, I do recommend it. But um, we the movie theater seats at the theater we have their like reclining lounge chairs, and we had gone to some movies prior to the we had gone to the movie theaters prior to the pandemic, and they have like a recliner button like right on the inside of the seat that you have. It's like so your right thigh presses up against it. And so for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but if there's anything in my right pocket, it definitely presses one of those buttons. And even if there's not something in that pocket, generally my leg still manages to press the button to make it go up or down when I don't want it to or didn't want it to. Thankfully, we went weekend, sat in the seats, fit much better. I wouldn't say that I was lounging in the chair, but I didn't have the issues. I was able to reach in there and get it to go up or down as I wanted, and I got in and out of the seats much easier. It's always kind of a wrestling match. Get out of those seats as well using the tray in front of you for leverage and getting up. So it worked out real nice. I was real happy with it. And then the other thing that I mean, as far as non-scale victories for me, the uh, I posted, and there's a lot of people that have found me because I posted on Reddit some things, and I've been getting a lot of private messages, people asking me questions, uh, uh, saying that I've inspired them and things like that, and I really appreciate that, and those things really help me to keep going on. Um, and kind of keep me accountable for what's going on for me. And so that would be one for me as well. I'm going to try to catch up here a little bit on the comments. Um, yeah, Brian, I mean, it's the, you know, it works different for everybody. I have a lot of fat, on my body. I don't know any of your dimensions. And so it's tough for that. But a lot of, if you are obese like I am, that first 18 hours is definitely tough no matter what. It's once you get past the 5 to 7 day mark, you really get to a point that it is tough to uh, like I'm afraid to just eat something in some ways. Like if I were to just grab a Snickers bar and eat it, that could hurt me severely. So you don't, you can't just grab anything. So that kind of helps keep me from eating as well. My energy levels, really, I mean, not high. I mean, but I would say, uh, like I've said in the past, my activity level is through the roof compared to where it was when I was 80 pounds or 70 pounds heavier than I am now. But and I actually just said it earlier here, my drive to do new things, like to get into I'm not going to go dig a hole in the ground to build a swimming pool anytime soon, but I'll take care of my swimming pool, I guess would be the best way. Um, and so the uh, uh, but from day to day, I don't feel any worse today than I did 12 days ago or 15 days ago as far as day to day into the fast. I feel just as much energy or just as much alertness and togetherness as I did 10, 20 days ago. Um, and with you, like you said, you're 245. It's tough for me to give anybody that's 245 any great advice because I haven't weighed 245 pounds since I was 15. And so it's tough for me to be able to give you a specific, advice. But I look at things, uh, like my million calorie challenge. So if you're 245, then you have 20 to 40 pounds of body fat on your body. And so then you could look at that and say that with, I'm just going to do 35 times, so 35, oh, I hate the wrong button. So you have 122,000 extra calories of body fat on your body. So, I mean, maybe look at how much you burn in a day and what you can eat and just slowly chip away at that 500 calories or 750 calories at a time. But like I said, I can't give you great advice. I wish I could, but I've never weighed that, that I, in a year and a half, 2 years, I hope to. But with, with fasting, I will say that the first 3 days are always tough. I mean, it's not gonna be because it's so easy to just quit too, because all you got to do is just quit. And so like with this, I got on day 3 and I went live, and even if nobody watched it, I still felt like I put myself accountable and I told somebody, like if uh, there's been so many the 4 to 5 day I've done fast but 4 to 5 day diets that I never told anybody about. So having a social event screw it up didn't matter because nobody knew about it. Whereas this one I'm getting on, I'm trying to be as public about it as I can. I mean, I've been more public in some ways than I expected with how social media algorithms uh, invite people based on friends lists and email addresses and stuff. Anyways, um, but those are kind of all my non-scale victories I had here. I have not showed you my weight yet. I'm wearing weigh-in clothes. I'm in my gray shirt, so I do have a weigh-in. I probably have to reset my phone because I usually do this earlier, and I didn't. So let's bring this back up. Okay, sorry. All right. So I am going to bring this back up here, and we are going to do today's weigh-in. If you follow me on Instagram, that is at Fasting, FAHSTING. Uh, there was I did post, so 437.6 is my new weight here, and so I'll put that up on the top. I didn't lose much weight since Saturday, which surprised me, but I did lose a lot of weight from Thursday to Saturday. I don't remember what the post was, but it was less than a pound in the last day and a half or 2 days since I weighed in on Saturday. I don't think I can show you the fasting thing here in a second as well. I use the Life app that keeps track of my fasted hours, and I might as well. If I have any problems with boils, does cure them. I mean, um, I'm not exactly. I know. I don't think I've had issues with boils. Like skin boil. Yeah. I would imagine, and I don't know how it wouldn't help them. It might cause them in that your body is trying to flush out toxin. If it's what I'm thinking it is. So, um, yeah, if it's something where your body's flushing it out, I guess it could cause it. Or but I have no idea. I'm not a dermatologist, and so I haven't had their as far as within myself from day to day, it's very much water intake. I'm sure I don't sit there and measure the exact amount of water that I intake day to day. I do know that I am intaking less water than I did when I first started. I just don't. Uh, I'm drinking it to satisfaction and not drinking to what I feel like is a doctor recommended amount of water to have in a day. And so, um, yeah, so yeah, like I said, I'm not a dermatologist, so I didn't know what it was. It's Yeah, and then right, it's everything. There's all kinds of things the electrolyte amounts that I take. It's you're taking a mix that is made by somebody that they say what's in there is in there, but you might happen to get a scoop that doesn't have as much potassium as is what it says, so it might cause something as well. Um, I mean, yeah, and but it's been consistently going down. If I did get to a point where I'm so close to the end now, so it's tough for me to say that if I stalled for 2 days, I would stop. But if I did notice that, or if I had noticed that earlier on, I definitely would have uh, considered stopping the fast, and that's part of why I may monitor my weight each day during the fast, and then after I probably won't monitor as much. But during the fast, the biggest things I've monitored myself, I guess, in my opinion, is my weight, and then I have a Garmin watch, and you can use any watch, but it displays my heart rate, and I've been fairly conscious of that. If I notice anything that I feel is odd with my heart or heart rate, then I would have that to look at and at least back up that things are doing fine. Um, the As far as with the doctor for me on this fast here, I have not. I fasted in the past, and I did a diet a few years back with a doctor that was very low calorie, and I monitored my blood throughout the whole time, multiple visits. And from for me, and this is for me, uh, I never had a blood test that ever showed any abnormalities outside of vitamin D deficiency, and that's really common and easily managed. Um, but uh, but yeah, that answers your question about that. Um, the and I've also mentioned this is not the first time I've done a 30-day this I've now gone longer than 30 days, but I had done a 30-day fast in the past. Um and again, you're with your weight, I don't know that there was kind of a just based on my weight and how long I'm going. If Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's what your body can handle, and so much about. what I'm hoping to do here is going to be more about the 3 years that I'm managing what I got going on too. So, um, the million calorie challenge, I did mention it briefly, but that is me kind of looking at my fat storage on my body as like a bank account. And with 300 extra pounds, I have a million calories on my body. At my previous weigh-in, I was at uh, 272,300 calories burned since the start of this challenge. I'm now at 287,700, so that is a difference of about 15,400 on that. And so I'm chipping away at that. I put this badge up here. I'm going to need to do something when I get to the $500,000 mark, and then or not, I keep saying 500,000 calorie mark, and then I'm still trying to think of some other non-skill or non-food uh, rewards to give myself. I had thought of one that I forgot. I was trying to remember it the other day, and what it was that once I get down under like 300 pounds, so a little ways from now, but definitely like to go take the family roller skating. It's something that they've been ice skating a few times. I don't think I'm ready for ice skating, but roller skating would be fun. And if you guys have any non-food uh, rewards that you give yourself, I'd love to hear them because I want to try to add those into kind of what I'm doing here, kind of keep myself motivated. That's part of what these calculators and these challenges I've been doing are for. And Like I said, after I get done with the fast and I start adding in actually doing any type of physical activity, I'll probably track kind of walking things and things like that. Um, yeah, yeah, Bolt, yeah, that's awesome. You had good results from your fasting here over the weekend, and the just keep on top of it. Do what you're doing as long as you continue to see success with what's working for you. And that mini putt with friends, yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's tough with uh COVID now, though. I mean, usually that's outside. It's hopefully, you know, that all changes here soon though. We did the calories. So really the only, I was going to talk about the um with the fasting, and this is extended fasting specifically, I guess, that I don't think I'm the only person that I've seen talk about this as far as people I've watched talk about extended fasting. And I've talked about it in the past about like watching people eat or watching food. When I did my 30-day challenge in the past, even at the time, I knew it wasn't great, but I was watching people binge eat or do food challenges. And I feel like psychologically that does help get through hunger cravings during a fast, is to see like food, seeing somebody eat or watching somebody eat. But what I'm trying to do now is to not watch those same types of videos. I'm trying to watch people prepare food in ways that I want to be preparing food going forward. And not watching people eat restaurant made food or watching somebody, make some sort of 5,000 calorie meal. Um, and so the, um, so I've been trying to watch healthier choice kind of cooking videos or food videos. But the YouTube and the Facebook algorithms, they just fight so hard against you, because I have watched, the pizza guy that reviews pizza, and I've watched all these other, food things that other people watch, um, and so the algorithm either suggests that, or you get done watching one video and then it just bumps into another video. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to slowly train that, or just straight up blocking those things, like I was talking about with the McDonald's app last week, that they sent me alert, and I realized that, I'm just done with the fast food, so I don't need the app, so I delete the app, so one of those things where, if you have to start unfollowing people, um and doing things like that. And it kind of leads into, some of the other parts that are tough, is grieving over my past diet that, like I just mentioned, the fast foods. Like I'm committed now to just cutting out fast food. I can't handle what happens when I allow fast food into my diet. So, like an alcoholic cuts out alcohol, cutting out fast food. If it, just cutting out fast food is probably not as extreme as an alcoholic cutting out all alcohol, but it might be, they don't drink hard whiskey and hard liquor anymore. They just drink beer. But I'm not, and so uh, it's, I have memory, and it's, who knows, fond memory, I guess you would say. But I think about the foods that, when I drive by the fast food places, I think about, oh, that was my favorite thing to get there. Oh, that'd be great to have that, and it's going to take time for me to just either forget that they exist, or to just have it pass. And so I'm still wrestling with that. I'm only 37 days into a diet, so it takes time for your body to get used to not having stuff, or not, that's all part of the 3-year challenge. It's 1,000 days, and it's gonna take 1,000 days to make my health a priority, and that's my goal. And so let me see if there's any other stuff. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to stay away again. The like asking about artificial sweeteners, and I what I'm trying to, I'm not doing anything in my water like that other than what was in the electrolyte stuff. And I had to switch from the orange, I think, that had more of a flavor in it, to the lemon. The lemon makes your face pucker, but um the again, I think that some of that stuff is just going to be keeping me closer to my addictions. And so um that that's tough with the sweeteners. I mean, it's because I like sweet stuff, so I got to figure out something if I'm going to do that. See, I like what, let me see what you like here. Right. That actually, that's funny. So let's talk a bit about personal care. Your actually comments better. Bolt here wrote, he tries to force himself to retrain his brain by writing 3 positive things each day, and then force yourself to look for the good things and not the old way of thinking. Yeah, that's awesome. The power of positive thinking is something that me and my wife have talked about a lot. Uh, it's something where there's a lot of psychological reasons behind why I eat the way I eat that I don't know, because it's not like I had uh, a traumatic event or anything I can specifically point to. It's just that I've always loved to eat food, and I eat as much as I possibly can. I mean, I couldn't count the number of times I've eaten to the point that I've thrown up at some point. Like, I don't maybe throw up when I finish it, but 2.5 hours later, I go to burp or something, and then that's not what comes up. So I have uh, an issue with too much. I don't know why I got going, but um, But yeah, taking care of yourself, um, and the psychological, the physical, the little things you can fix that you're not fixing. You can do. I've talked about my feet. The I still have a pain on the outside of my foot. It's gone down a lot. I used some medicine for corns on it, and it helped a lot. And I need to maybe do another treatment of that to finish it. Um, I also found that my wife had this foot massager that she had bought that when she bought it, I tried to use it and I didn't like it at all. I really didn't understand what she thought was so great about it, but she loved it. And then about halfway through the fast here, I was kind of like, well, my feet, I had a lot of swelling around my ankles and my feet, and that went way down. I threw my feet in there, and the first thing I said to her was, uh, "Are your whole foot supposed to fit inside this thing?" Because I could only get about half my foot in it before. I didn't realize how fat my feet really were, and now I think I'm stealing it from her. So I don't think she likes that. Just to get me my own foot massager for Christmas, but not really. I don't need a foot. I'll just keep stealing yours. Um, but yeah, take care of yourself. Find something, find some way to take care of yourself. If you're trying to find out a diet for you, if just start doing something. If you're letting your diet run wild, you got to rein it in. You got to put it in some sort of box. You got to, contain it somehow, whether it's an eating window or a calorie limit or a food restriction. But if you're serious about getting something done, you got to do it uh, right away. It's not about waiting until after the next social event or after the next thing. It's about getting yourself better right now. Um, and so the that's about all I had for today. I've gone a little bit long. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm not sure about a weigh-in tomorrow or not, but I will be back on live streaming. Uh, Still happy and fasting. I If you like what the video, subscribe, hit the alert button or the bell, turn on alerts so you can know when I go live, because that's really the only content I'm doing outside of my Instagram, which is at fasting. That's FAHSTING. I do post up some photos, and I hope that something I said today helps somebody out there. And again, like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow. I really appreciate everybody getting on and commenting today. Again, I really like that uh, having kind of feedback or kind of to be able to talk about. I want to hear about your guys' success with your diets and things like that. So um, the yeah, and if you watched any of the old videos, Bolt just said he kind of watched a bunch of my old videos this weekend. If you have questions or if something I say in those videos resonates with you, make a comment so I know, because at some point I'm gonna try to compile these together or make some sort of montage of the first month, because I know uh, it might not be the most fun to sit there and listen to me talk for a half hour over and over and over again. But I am going to finally get out of here today. I wish you guys all the success in the world on your diets. I will see you tomorrow.